In 1995, I went to the Expanding Light Retreat Center in Nevada City, California. One of the most successful meditation and yoga retreats in the world. And I was on their work exchange program. Work exchange was we did work in exchange for food, for housing, and to take classes. So I did all kinds of jobs. I swept floors, I mopped floors, I cleaned bathrooms, I did office work, I dug ditches, and at one point, I cooked. Yeah, I cooked. They had trust in me, apparently. And we cooked for the guests at the retreat. Now, I don't know about you, but my mother didn't like people being in the kitchen when I was growing up, so I didn't really have a lot of experience cooking. And she's listening to this message, and so somewhere she'll be hearing it, and she knows that. But, I was called to cook. And at the same time that I was on work exchange, I was also taking a month-long yoga teacher training program. So I would do my work exchange 6.5 days a week, and then I would do the training, where you do presentations, you take classes, and you do that kind of stuff. So this one particular evening, I was cooking a soup for 30 or 40 guests. And at one point, I said to my friend Debbie, I won't reveal her real name, I said, Debbie, I got to go do my presentation. Would you just keep an eye on the soup? And when I get back, I'll finish the cooking. Yeah, you can tell already what's happening. So I go to the yoga teacher training. I come back 2 hours later. I taste the soup, and it is spicy. I mean, it is so spicy, I had tears welling up in my face. Now, I went over to the oven to look on my biscuits. They were completely flat. Completely flat. I could have sold them as Frisbees. They were so flat. And, it was crazy. Some lady was watching me running around the kitchen. So she came into the kitchen, and she started to help. And she went over, she saw me looking at these flat biscuits. And she tasted one, and she said, that's pretty good. It tastes like a cracker. Well, now I could have been very upset at that point, right? I could have been blaming. I could have been really angry. I could have been running around. I could have been anxious, worried. And what I found was that I was in a state of joy. Somehow I was enjoying the ridiculousness of this situation. There was a part of me that was detached from what was going on, the adventure of it. And at 6:25, dinner was at 6:30, I go over and taste the soup, and the cayenne had burned out, thank goodness. A minor miracle. The cayenne had burned out, and the biscuits were still flat. And someone said, why don't you just rename the biscuits? So I did. Virginia Flatbread. And people tasted it, and they went, this is good. Can I have the recipe? Let me ask you, when things don't go your way, when you've made mistakes, and you feel embarrassed, and you're not sure what's going to happen, how do you react? How do you respond? You could be gentle on yourself. You could be easier on yourself. You could sort of adjust, go with the flow, take yourself a little less seriously in the situation. Eventually we're going to laugh at it. So why wait? Why wait? When your soup is a little too spicy and your biscuits don't rise, just make Virginia flatbread. The Indian sage Paramahansa Yogananda once said to be even-minded and cheerful at all times. Even-minded and cheerful at all times. James said, count it all joy, my brothers and sisters, when you fall into many temptations. then no matter what's going on around you or happening to you, you can choose to be even-minded and cheerful at all times. I am even-minded and cheerful at all times. Would you join me in knowing that? I am even-minded and cheerful at all times. Please turn to your neighbor and say, you are even-minded and cheerful at all times. Make joy a habit. Make joy a habit. You and everyone you know will be better for it. God bless you.